Hi class. Do you know the animal abuse laws in our country? Do you know the animal abuse laws in your state? In 1990, less than 10 states had felony provisions for animal abuse. In 2010, there were still a handful of states who didn't consider cruelty, neglect, or abandonment a felony. Today, with the help of the Animal Legal Defense Fund, I plan on informing you of 4 popular categories of animal abuse laws. By the end of my speech, you will be informed of the current animal abuse laws regarding dog fighting, puppy mills, farmed animals, and wild animals in captivity. Until recently, Idaho, Hawaii, Kentucky, Mississippi, and North Dakota had the weakest animal protection laws in our nation. In 2010, 3 of those 5 states didn't even consider cruelty, neglect, or abandonment a felony. And of those 5, only North Dakota regarded all animal fighting as a felony and not just dog fighting. Did you know animal abuse is now considered a felony in all 50 states? In 2015, the FBI categorized animal cruelty as a Class A felony in order to be able to track these charges just like any other charges. There are 4 different categories of animal abuse: intentional abuse or torture, simple or gross neglect, organized abuse such as animal fighting, and animal sexual abuse. The laws that were recently passed are extremely important due to the link between animal abusers and serial killers or domestic abusers. Dog fights are organized events in which people gamble on dogs who fight to the death. In addition to the animal cruelty and gambling, there are other factors to consider, such as children and weapons being present and linked to other crimes. It was imperative that dogfighting obtain a felony status due to the amount of participants who would just consider a misdemeanor fine a slap on the wrist and part of doing business. A larger deterrent was needed in order to create change in this industry. In 2007, NFL pro football player Michael Vick was convicted of dogfighting. His sentence included 23 months in prison, 3 years of supervised probation, a fine of $5,000, and restitution of $928,073. He was also ordered to enter a drug treatment program. Though Michael Vick is playing back in the NFL, he has a court order stating that most of his salary goes to paying off debt. The Michael Vick case brought dogfighting back to the forefront of animal cruelty legislation. In 2014, all states considered dogfighting a felony. However, in several states, spectating is still only charged as a misdemeanor crime. Puppy mills are commercial dog breeding facilities in which the health of the dog is disregarded in order to maintain a low overhead and maximize profits. In 1966, Congress passed the Animal Welfare Act, which outlined minimum standards of care for animals bred for commercial resale. Although the Humane Society of the United States has attempted to persuade the U.S. Department of Agriculture to regulate breeders who sell directly to the public, there are still very few additional laws that have been implemented due to some purebred dog registries and kennel clubs lobbying against these rules being set in place. There have been laws passed called puppy lemon laws that provide minimal amount of protection to consumers who have purchased a sick puppy mill puppy from a pet store. As of 2014, there were still many states who did not uphold puppy mill laws. Only 18 states required licensing and inspections for puppy mills, and there were still 15 states that did not require any licensing or inspections by the state. Farmed animals are animals that are bred for us to eat. Did you know there are no current laws regarding regulations for animals raised for food? These animals are actually omitted in the Federal Animal Welfare Act. The animals that we eat are some of the most abused animals in our country due to the limited regulations on their care. Due to this, there are thousands of people who get sick each year from the food they eat. In 2011, there was 1 million pounds of beef recall due to an E. coli contamination. The Ag-Gag laws are the one piece of legislature that work against these animals. These laws state it is illegal to go undercover at one of these facilities and take pictures or videography. The owner has to give consent in order for any of this proof to be legal. As far as wild animals in captivity, for endangered animals, permits may be issued for scientific research or breeding programs, and these are strict compared to less endangered animals, who can be acquired under permits for education, exhibition, or special purposes. U.S. Fish and Wildlife has laws in place in order to deter people from owning many types of wildlife without a permit. In many states, though, it is legal to own native wildlife species as pets. In Georgia, the state where I live, it is illegal to own any native wildlife species without possessing a permit issued from the state. It is legal for people to obtain a captive bred wildlife permit to purchase and sell wild animals within the United States, though there are limitations. In conclusion, many changes have been made to animal cruelty laws over the past 50 years. Many laws are stricter now with more serious punishments. Dog fighting is a felony in all 50 states. Puppy mills are regulated more in some states than others. There are no current laws or regulations regarding the care of farmed animals. And in regards to wildlife in captivity, there are fairly strict laws regarding endangered species, and birds are more difficult to obtain permits for than other types of animals. I hope you enjoyed my informative speech on animal abuse laws in our country.